Is it just me, or are we not able to share opinions online? After spending many years of my life on social media, if there is something that I learned from these applications is to not share your hot takes online. Because if you do so, well, you'll probably be bullied until you die. And that made me wonder why. Why are people so scared of sharing their thoughts online? Well, in today's video, I will try my best to dive into this subject while also ranting on why I hate this side of the internet. And on that note, hi everyone, I hope y'all are doing fine. If you guys are new to this channel and if you want to support me, don't forget to leave a like or dislike, only if you want to, obviously. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and let's start this video. Also, before really jumping into the subject of this video, I just wanted to specify that this is not a political channel, so I won't talk about politics here.
I love democracy.
Sorry to disappoint you guys on this one. During the entire runtime of this video, I will be referring to the subject of this video as having opinions on pieces of media, such as movies, TV series, or video games, for example.
Samurai.
But if you want to link my words into politics, well, go ahead. I'm not stopping you from doing that. Also, apologies for bad English.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfuckers.
Have you ever shared an opinion online before? If you did and still are not traumatized by this event, well, congratulations, my friend. That means that you had a generally agreed opinion amongst internet users. But for those who dared share a hot take online, oh boy, I hope y'all are still safe these days. As someone who has many controversial opinions, I get what it feels like to be rejected and to be mocked by the entire comment section of a video. Most people online cannot afford others to have different opinions from them, and this is problematic. I often feel scared before posting a video or a comment online, just because I don't know how well received it will be. Will people agree with my take, or at least just respect it? Or will they want to find my address and send me their literal shit in a box? I feel like most people giving their opinions online are scared to press the sending button just because of how toxic social media can be sometimes, especially in the comment section under an Instagram Reels. Also, you are allowed to ask yourselves, why would you, maximum, share a hot take online if you know the repercussions in advance? Well, my answer to you would be this. I just like sharing. It's what I do all the time. I share and I listen to people. I love having debates about movies. Even if I can be wrong, which is the case most of the time, not gonna lie. Hearing what people have to say about a certain subject can bring new arguments in favor or against your thoughts on this subject. And in some cases, it might even change your entire perception of the subject. That's what I like about watching reviews online. I like to learn stuff that I didn't get during my first watch time. I try to listen to both sides of the enjoyment meter, and after hearing what both sides have to say, then I can confirm my original thoughts on the subject. But because somebody says something online, that doesn't mean that they're always right. You can like or hate something that someone else likes or hates. Nothing can please the entire world, which makes sharing more interesting. Imagine if we all had the same opinions on things. Maybe you'd say that the world would be perfect this way. But to me, it wouldn't, because I like diversity. I like to hear what people have to say, even if it goes against my thoughts. We all come from different backgrounds, and we all have different interests. So obviously, people won't always agree with your takes. But still, that's what I like about sharing. At least until the internet does what it's best known for.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now.
I think we are all allowed to ask ourselves the question, why are people on social media so toxic? Well, I am obviously not a psychologist, and I sadly can't even answer this question properly. But I can share my thoughts on how I feel about toxicity online in general. So, let's get into it. Imagine you just experienced the movie Sinners for the first time in theaters. By the way, I really enjoyed this movie. movie. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. And you see everyone praising this movie online. But you actually didn't enjoy it in this scenario. You want to share your hot take with people online, but you know damn well that you will be clowned so hard for doing so. But you decide to do it anyway because freedom of speech, am I right, chat? And the backlash you end up receiving is hardcore. Now, in your opinion, what kind of answer are you the most likely to receive after posting this hot take online? Answer A, a well-constructed criticism from a user that disagrees with your take, but that goes on to explain why they disagree with it. Answer B, a user saying that they disagree with your take respectfully without really developing on why. Or answer C, a user tells you to go kill yourself. Yeah, I don't really think I need to explain why I think answer C is the most likely to happen for me, you know? I honestly might have gone a bit too far with this one. I apologize. But sadly, in many cases, people will still bully these individuals without really developing on their opposite opinions. So you'll never get why people disagree with your take so much online. You'll remember the backlash and the mockeries that came with it. And in my opinion again, that's problematic. Because if you tell someone that they're wrong, at least have the courtesy to tell them why you think they are wrong in your opinion. And honestly, is it necessary to insult everyone that has a different opinion from yours? Like, I don't get how it would benefit you in some way. You're just ruining some random person's day. Words hurt as much as a knife. So be careful with how you express yourself online. I believe that everyone has the right to disagree with anyone's opinion, as long as you stay respectful and you respond to them in a well-constructed way. No is not a good counter-argument. Kill yourself is also not a good counter-argument. And the skull emoji is also not a good counter-argument. I think you get the point. If you really want to have a sensible debate with a stranger online, I don't think using toxic manners will make you the winner of this debate. Even if you are objectively right in that scenario. Usually, the people that get clowned on the internet are the people that have a different opinion from the general consensus of the internet. For example, people hating on Fight Club. You know, I've heard that when this movie came out, it was poorly received by the general public. But nowadays, it's getting praised everywhere on the internet just because it finally found its audience. If you dare say something negative about this movie these days, you'll end up getting swooped Tyler Burden style. Have you ever wondered how a general consensus on a movie, for example, has become a general consensus? Well, sometimes I do, but I feel like it comes from the loud voices on the internet, like YouTubers or critics, like myself.
Boy, if you don't get...
It is possible that many people are scared to have their own opinions, so they'll listen to one critic they like and stick to what this critic said about this piece of media, which can end up creating a butterfly effect. And bim bam boom, this movie is generally perceived as good or bad on the internet just because of these loud voices. I like to believe that sometimes there are a silent majority of people that have an opposite opinion from these generally agreed takes. And I feel like it's time for these people to stand up and have an equally loud voice on the internet so they can heat up the debates online. Fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. I like internet drama. So yes, if this ends up happening, it would be entertaining and informative for me. And maybe for you too, who knows? I like to hear hot takes. Even if I disagree with them, my fellow hot take enjoyers, it's time to rise up and shake up some general consensus a little bit. But you know what? All these debates and takes that we can see online that also can sometimes turn out to be too toxic for what it is are based on one simple concept, but also not so simple concept that I'm going to try and develop a little bit on here.
I did it because I liked it. And I loved it. I'm sitting down. I'm just itching. I'm itching.
According to the site vocabulary.com, subjectivity refers to how someone's judgment is shaped by personal opinions and feelings instead of outside influences. Subjectivity is partially responsible for why one person loves an abstract painting while another person hates it. So every piece of media will not necessarily have the same impact on everyone because we don't all feel the same way about these things. Fight Club, for example, is not made for everyone. And even if something tries to please everyone, that doesn't mean that everyone will necessarily like it. There is no one above us that is telling us what movie is good or what movie is bad, for example, because it all comes down to your feelings. I really hate what I'm about to say, but if you hated The Shawshank Redemption, that's fine. If you liked Morbius, that's also fine. You have the right to like things and to hate things. And I believe that that's what makes the beauty of subjectivity. You guys might call me a hypocrite here, because in my last reviews, I said some stuff like The Lion King 1994 is an emotional masterpiece. By the way, go check that video out if you haven't already, which would be right to critique me for. I am not someone that has an opinion superior than yours. On the contrary even. I'm just a random guy on YouTube that yaps about stuff and gives his opinion on too many subjects sometimes. So how dare I speak about that movie this way? My opinions might not always match yours, but that's what the whole point of subjectivity is. You and I have different backgrounds, and we might be looking out to gain different experiences from these pieces of media. So why would my opinion matter more than yours? Well, the answer to that question is pretty simple. It doesn't. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, in certain situations, we have to be able to differentiate a real opinion from another concept that is sadly currently taking over the entire internet.
You know what I did? The f***ing
At many occasions, people will fall for what's called a rage bait. According to Urban Dictionary, rage bait is a post on social media by a news organization designed expressly to outrage as many people as possible in order to generate interaction. So, some people will comment under a video or will post an entire video that go against the general consensus on the subject, just so they can get reactions and interactions on their video and comments. They just want attention, just because it's funny to them, I guess. Sometimes it is funny, not gonna lie, but sometimes it goes too far. Avoiding these rage baits online has become a difficult activity to do, and you'll probably fall for one someday. I personally have, many times. So, how are we supposed to believe some hot takes online if we cannot identify it as a rage bait? Well, personally, if I feel like an argument that someone makes doesn't feel right and just sounds like a horribly written ChatGPT joke, chances are it's a rage bait. Or the person is just straight up a dookie. Anyways, if you see a hot take online that just doesn't feel right and you feel like it's just there to create chaos, try not to fall for it and watch reliable critics instead. To answer the question in the title of the video, yes, obviously, we are and always will be allowed to have opinions about certain pieces of media. But if you share your opinions online, you might become a victim of toxic behavior. It is okay to disagree with a general consensus on a certain piece of media, because at the end of the day, it's your opinion. So who cares? As long as it's really your opinion and you believe in what you say, because there are some cases of people online that just repeat opinions they've heard somewhere and assuming that these opinions were the ultimate truth. But spoiler alert, it's not. Also, if you seriously consider doing rage bait after watching this video, I think you need to reflect on yourself respectfully. What do you guys think of all of this? Tell me in the comments section down below what are your opinions on the subject. Leave a like or dislike if you want. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!